Hello, it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines we have the head of state is presiding over the proceedings of the 8th sessions of the Council of Ministers. Oil tankers and container ships are at the landline still in the Strait of Hormuz amid rising tensions. Welcome to our newsroom. Under the chairmanship of His Excellency Ismail Omar Gelle, President of the Republic and Head of Government, the 8th session of the Council of Ministers was held on Tuesday, August 18, 2026. Listen for more details for the spokespersons of the government, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Hussein Omar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sous la présidence de Son Excellence M. Ismail Omar Gelle, Président de la République, chef du gouvernement, a eu lieu ce mardi 18 août 2026 la 8e séance du Conseil des ministres.
Under the chairmanship of His Excellency Mr. Ismail Gelle, President of the Republic and Head of the Government, the 8th session of the Council of the Ministries were held this Tuesday, August 18, 2026. At the beginning of the session, the President of the Republic paid tribute to this Excellency Mr. Hassan Umar Burhan, a former Minister of Defense, who passed away on July 17, 2026. And a Fatiha was recited by all members of the government in memory of the deceased. During the session, the President of the Republic signed a circular concerning new working hours between the public administration. Effective September 1, 2026, working hours in public administration and public establishment will be from Sunday to Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with 1 hour lunch break from 1 p.m. to p.m. The Council of the Ministries also reviewed and approved several tests on this agenda. Minister of Budget, first item drove law on final settlement of the 2025 budget. The final account of the state for the 25 fiscal year show revenue amounting to 158.68 billion Jury franc, while expenditure totality 166.416 billion Jury franc. 2025 fiscal year was marked by an improvement in the main budget balance system in the context of increased public revenues compared with the previous fiscal year. Executed expenditure reached 159.413 billion Jury franc, representing an increase of 18.317 Jury franc, comparing with the appropriation authorized under the amended financial law. This increase was mainly due to investment financed through domestic resources, which rose by 12.999.95 billion Jury franc, followed by personal expenditure up by 3.943 billion February franc, and operating and equipment expenditure, which increasing by 1.481 billion Jury franc. Second item, drive order granting a plot of land in Nagade to Delta. The drive order concerning the paid allocation of a plot of land belonging to the private domain of the state of the Delta establishment located in Nagade. The plot confers an area of 18,588 square meters at a price of 1,000 Jury franc per square meter. This allocation is part of the development of Delta has activities and the establishment of infrastructure to support its commercial and logistical operation. The site will accommodate a sales outlet and logistic complex dedicated to the distribution of construction materials. The project is expected to strengthen the establishment's storage and distribution capacity while contributing to the expansion of its activities in the Nagad area. 30-item drive order allocating a plot of land in Tajura to the Saad Umar Gelle Foundation. The drive order provided for the allocation of the two plots of land belonging to the private domain of the state to the Saad Umar Gelle Foundation, both located in Tajura region. The first plot covered an area of 655 square meters including existing building, while the second developed plot covered 4,213 square meters. This allocation is part of the Foundation's Solidarity Initiative and for to strengthen healthcare services, particularly for the population of Tajura and surrounding localities. The plot will be used to establish a dialysis center providing accessible care for patients suffering from chronic kidney failure. The construction of these facilities will help improve access to specialized healthcare, reduce patients needed to travel to the capital and strengthen healthcare capacity in the region. Fourth item, draft order allocating a plot of land in Dikil to the Saad Omar Gele Foundation. The draft order provided for the allocation a 14,522 square meter plot of land located in Dikil to Saad Omar Gele Foundation. This allocation is part of the Foundation's Solidarity Initiative and for to strengthen healthcare services with the aim of improving access to specialized medical care for the population of Dikil and surrounding area. The plot will be used to establish a dialysis center providing local care for patients suffering from the chronic kidney failure. The facility will help improve access to specialized healthcare, reduce patients' travel to the capital, ease to financial and social burden associated with such travel and strengthen healthcare capacity in the region.
Many bills have been approved at this Council of Ministers. Listen once again to the spokespersons of the government, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Hussein Ali.
The Republic 58 draft law approving the financial statement of the National Agency for Persons with Disability in page for the 2025 fiscal year. The financial statement of the National Agency for the Person with Disability for the 2025 fiscal year show total income of 610.1 million Djibouti franc and expense of the 705.6 million Djibouti franc, resulting in deficit of 95.5 million Djibouti franc. The agency income increased by 35.5 million Djibouti franc compared with the previous year. It mainly consisted of the state operating grant of 161.1 million franc, the state FCH grant of 200 million franc, as well as state coverage of rent, water, and electricity, a cost amounting to 20.7 million franc. Other sources, including revenue from the sale of risk label pigs, amounting to 25.6 million franc, the European Union funding project at 31.3 million franc, and CNSS donation totalizing 34.5 million franc. Public subsidies accounted for nearly 78% of the agency operating income. On the spiritual side, the NPH recorded 705.6 million franc, an increase of 83.4 million franc compared with the previous fiscal year. The main expenses, including personal costs, totalizing 213.1 million franc for the 139 employees, third-party consumption cost of the 224.2 million franc, and the purchase of the goods needed for the beneficiaries, amounting to 78.2 million franc. Other expenses stood at 97.8 million franc, while exceptional social assistance expenses reached 67 million franc. The agency's receivable amounted to 31.8 million franc, mainly consisting of 30.1 million franc in state grants with yet to be received and 1.4 million franc in outstanding payment for risk label bags sold. The university yearly received totally 124 million franc, including 89 million franc in supplies, debt, and 34.9 million franc in test and social liability, mainly provision for paid leave amounting to 19.4 million franc. During the 24-25 fiscal year, the NPH invested 19.6 million franc in transport equipment officer and IT equipment furniture as well as site development and improvement works. Ministry of Labor in charge of formalization and social protection 60-item draft law approving the 2024 financial statement of the National Social Security Fund (CNSS), the financial statement of the National Social Security and the CNSS for the 2024 fiscal year show total income of 32.938 billion Jewry foreign expense of the 28.794 billion Jewry foreign, resulting in a surplus of 4.144 billion Jewry foreign. The 2024 fiscal year ended with a surplus of 4.144 billion foreign, representing an increase of 15.55% compared with the 2023 when the surplus stood at the 3.586 billion foreign. Total income increased by 9.34%, driving mainly by 88.22% raise in operating income, a 28.72% increase in financial income, and a significant 818.71% increase in social income. Expense rose by 8.15%, mainly due to a 9.20% increase in operating expense, while financial and exceptional expense remain relatively stable. Contribution revenue amounted to 22.938 billion francs. They were made up of a 76% contribution from the general scheme and 19% from the special scheme, with the remainder coming from financial income, special income, and other operating revenue. Regarding the balance sheet, total assets stood at the 114.984 billion francs, representing an increase of the 10.48% compared with the 2023. Liability amounted to 110.84 billion francs, with the addition of the year's surplus, bringing the balance sheet to equilibrium with the total asset. Overall, the financial performance indicators confirm strongly positive financially positive for the CNSS. Financial position. Overall, the financial performance indicators confirm strongly positive financial position for the CNSS. Minister of the Interior 7th Degree amended the Decree number 2017-052 April immediate on the incidence of the ordinary biometric passport. The draft decree concerns extension of the validity period of the ordinary biometric passport established by the Decree number 2017-052 with 53 of February 2017. The biometric passport is secure travel document that facilitates the citizen international mobility and border controls. However, its current validity period is limited to 5 years, resulting in frequent renewal, additional administrative procedure and recurring cost for passport holders. The draft decree therefore proposed to extend the validity of the ordinary biometric passport from 5 to 10 years. The measures aim to simplify administrative procedure, reduce the cost borne by citizens, and contribute to the modernization and improvement of public services. Minister of the Infrastructure and Equipment 88 draft order establishment regulation on aviation charge and passenger fees order number 2008-0171 payment of March 5, 2008, which has been enforced more than 15 years, has been updated in light of presenting economic development, particularly those resulting from the COVID-19 epidemic. The draft order provided for the elevation of the en route navigation charge, which date back to 2020, as well as the resettlement of aviation charges. It also proposed the introduction of a 2,000 friendly fee passenger dedicated specifically to the development of airport infrastructure. These adjustments are intended to increase the airport's annual revenue, which are necessary to modernize its facilities and ensure the long-term sustainability of its services. 9th item, draft order establishment regulation on route navigation charge. The draft order aims to revise the regulation governing en route navigation charge applicable to aircraft flying through the airspace of the Republic of Georgia. It repeals and replaces the provision of order number 2020-210 permit of April 1, 2020, which have been outdated in view of development of air traffic and current economic environment. The new regulation introduces a new pricing system based on a category of aircraft determined according to the maximum take-off weight. Each aircraft category will be subject to a flat fee per overflight of a Djibouti airspace. Report on Djibouti participation in the Extraordinary African Union Health Summit. The Minister of Health presented a report on the participation of the Republic of Djibouti in the Extraordinary African Union Summit on Health held in Ankara on July 21, 22, 2026. The Egyptian delegation, led by His Excellency Her Excellency, the Egyptian delegation led by Her Excellency Mona Osman Adan took part in discussion focused on sustainable health, financial, universal health coverage, and a strengthened health system. The Minister presented Djibouti's position concerning centered on health sovereignty, sustainable financing, and equitable access to healthcare. The summit concluded with the adoption of the Accra Declaration, which notably calls for the reducing dependence on external aid, strengthening African production of health products, and improving primary health care. The declaration is in line with Djibouti's national health priorities. It recommended incorporating its orientation into next national health development plan, leveraging Djibouti's strategic logistical position in African health product supply mechanism and continuity to national dialogue on health financing. Report on the financial visit to the Republic of Turkey. The Minister of Muslim Affairs and Waqf Priorities presented a report on this official mission of the Republic of Turkey in July 2026, during which he was received by the Presidency of Religious Affairs of Turkey. The meeting helped strengthen bilateral cooperation in religious and institutional matters, particularly in the area of Waqf management, retraining of officials in preservation of religious heritage, and promotion of peace, modernization, and fraternity. Discussion also focused on the Sultan Abdul Hamid to a grand mosque in Djibouti, a symbol of friendship between the two countries. The Egyptian side submitted a proposal concerning the establishment of a dedicated waqf, the restoration and maintenance of the mosque, as well as its cultural and heritage promotion. These proposals were received with interest by the Turkish side. Finally, the delegation visited the National Library of Turkey in Ankara, which invited Djibouti to contribute to its international collection with books and documents showcasing on the country's history, culture, and identity. The minister indicated that the selection of books and official documents will be prepared for this purpose.
The message of congratulations from the President of the Republic to his re-elected Zambian counterpart. The head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Gelle, extended his best wishes for success to his Zambian counterpart, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who was declared the winner of the presidential elections held on August 13 in Zambia. The overwhelming majority that secured your new electoral victories is clearly a perfect illustration of the support of the majority of your compatriot for your political visions, wrote President Gelle in the congratulatory telegram sent to Mr. Hichilema. There is no doubt that this renewed vote of confidence will provide further momentum in your unwavering commitment to bringing all the attributes of sustainable development to your countries and your people. The head of state noted in the same document, Mr. President, rest assured that you will always find in the government and people of Djibouti all the support conducive to the relations of friendship and cooperation between our two nations. President Gelle also reiterating his warmest congratulations to his re-elected counterpart from Zambia. A large delegation led by His Excellency Umar Abdi Said, Minister of Interior and Acting Ministers of Defense, participate in the 36 ordinary meetings of the political bodies of the East African Standby Force held from August 10 to 14, 2026 in Kampala, Republic of Uganda. The Djiboutian delegation also included Mr. Iltiri Ibrahim Farah, Senior Advisor to the Minister of Defense, and Colonel Mohammed Elmi Arbane, representing the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces. The high-level regional meeting brought together Ministers of Defense and Security, Chief of Staffs, and experts from ISAF member states to discuss key issues related to the organization's operations, fundings, and capacity buildings. The proceedings were divided into 3 phases. The working group of experts met from August 10 to 12 to examine the various items on the agenda. Its recommendations were then submitted to the Committee of Chief of Staff of Defense and Security, which met on August 13 before being reviewed and adopted by the Council of Ministers on August 14, 2026. Addressing his counterpart, His Excellency Umar Said Abdi reaffirmed the Republic of Djibouti's unwavering commitment to peace, security, and stability in the regions. He emphasized the need to maintain the ISAF as a credible, responsive force, fully prepared to fulfill its mandate in the services to the people of the East Africa. The acting Minister of Defense also paid a heartfelt tribute to the late Hassan Omar Mohammed, former Minister of Defense, recalling his commitment to regional cooperations and strengthening the ISAF, continuing the commitment made by the late Minister. His Excellency Umar Said Abdi reaffirmed the Republic of Djibouti's commitment to settling its outstanding contributions to the organization. The National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNFD, in collaboration with the Djiboutian Agency for Social Development, ADDS, and the Ministry of Health, is continuing its activity to combat malnutrition and prevent stunting in children under 5 years. This morning's malnutrition screenings and growth monitoring sessions was held at the Djibouti Diabetic Youth Centers located at PICA 12. This activity is part of a broader community programs aimed at mobilizing families and community to promote better nutrition and growth monitoring for children, implemented jointly by UNFD, ADDS, and the Ministry of Health with the financial support from the World Bank. The programs is deployed in 4 neighborhoods, Qarabil, Basha, Wahaldaba, and Arhiba. This community-based approach brings prevention, awareness, and screening efforts closer to families and communities. The event took place in the presence of several officials and stakeholders involved in the program's implementation, including Ms. Ruqya Yusuf Ali, Deputy Secretary General of the UNFD, Ruqya Ali Jama, UNFD Project Coordinator, and Mr. Abdallah Mutuna, Project Managers at ADDS, and Dr. Abdurrahman Mumin Duksiye, a pediatrician at the Djibouti Center for Young Diabetic. These sessions also brought together community health workers and programs beneficiaries who play a vital role in raising awareness among families and monitoring children's benefits from monitoring that allows through these activities, children's benefit from monitoring that allows for the early identifications of potential cases of malnutrition. This community-based approach places prevention, early detection, and support for families at the heart of its actions. The project coordinator and project manager said that growth monitoring makes it possible to quickly identify situations requiring special attention and, when necessary, to refer families to appropriate health services beyond screening. This initiative also raises parents' awareness of the importance of proper malnutrition and monitoring children's growth and development. Through these community-based actions, UNFD, ADDS, and the Ministry of Health are continuing their efforts to prevent malnutrition, strengthen families' knowledge, and contribute to better health for children under 5 years. Dr. Abdurrahman Mumin, a pediatrician at the Center for Young Diabetics, stated that today we have gathered as part of a program dedicated to combating malnutrition among pregnant women and children under 5 years. Two groups are particularly vulnerable to this problem. Indeed, when a pregnant woman suffers from malnutrition, it can have consequences for the baby, notably resulting in low birth weight. Similarly, when a child does not receive adequate balanced nutrition and when suffering from other illnesses, they can be at risk of malnutrition. These situations can have consequences for their growth and development. These programs therefore aim to raise awareness through the community in order to promote healthy nutrition and balanced diet for women and children. The activity is organized by the National Union of Djiboutian Women in collaboration with the Djiboutian Agency for Social Development and the Ministry as staff members of the. As the Deputy Secretary General of the UNFD has indicated that women indicate that this initiative is based on an integrated approach combining public awareness campaign and monitoring of health-related issues. The program essentially comprises two components. The first focuses on raising awareness, while the second aims to ensure that mothers and children have access to nutrition. Following the initiative in Alta, the Ministry Delegate for Decentralization has organized an awareness and presentations workshop in Ali Sabih on the aquabac biological solutions already used by the Ministry of Health in mosquito control. The meeting held at the Ali Sabih Regional Council headquarters with the technical support from G Pharma aimed to present participants with the characteristics, applications, methods, and benefits of these biological solutions for preventing and controlling mosquitoes proliferation. This initiative is part of a broader effort to raise awareness and mobilize local stakeholders around mosquito control methods, particularly in areas prone to breeding. The workshop also provided an opportunity to gather the needs of and concern of various local stakeholders in order to better adapt prevention and control measures to the realities on the ground. The meeting brought together several officials and institutional stakeholders, including Sharmaki Hassan Alale, President of the Ali Sabih Regional Council, Fatuma Yusuf, representative of the Sub-Directorate to the Ministry Delegate for Decentralization, Dr. Fuad Abdurrahman, Head of Pharmacists and Acting Director of G Pharma. During the sessions, the participants discussed the challenges related to vector control and the importance of close collaboration between government agencies, local authorities, and technical partners. Sharmaki Hassan Alale, President of the Regional Council, said that this initiative is part of a broader effort to raise awareness and mobilize local stakeholders around mosquito control methods, particularly in areas prone to breeding. The workshop also provided an opportunity to gather the needs and concerns of various local stakeholders in order to better adapt prevention and control measures to the realities on the ground. Dr. Fuad Abdurrahman, pharmacist in charge and acting head of the G Pharma, through this workshop, said that through this workshop, the organizers aim to strengthen the knowledge of local stakeholders and encourage a preventive and coordinated approach to mosquito control. The presentations of aquabac thus represent a further step in the ongoing effort to improve prevention and protection measures for the population. The 70th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification opened this Monday in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, Until August 28, representatives of state, scientists, international organizations, civil society, and development actors will address one of the major challenges of our times, land degradation and resilience to drought, and the theme Restore Land and Restore Hope. This COP17 aims to accelerate actions on land restoration, sustainable management of natural resources, and strengthening the resilience of populations facing drought. For Djibouti, these discussions are of particular importance and arid countries in the Horn of Africa. Djibouti faces intense climate pressure, marked in particular by water scarcity, land degradation, and the impact of drought on the livelihoods of the rural populations in the interior regions. Access to water remains a central issue for community and pastoralism. Land degradation and lean resources can also exacerbate the vulnerability of populations and encourage displacement in search to better living conditions. It's precisely the link between drought, land, water, food security, and population mobility that gives COP17 a special resonance for Djibouti. The UNCCD also emphasizes that land restoration is a key issue for development, resilience, and stability, particularly in the vulnerable regions. This COP also comes at a time when pastoral areas and livestock farming systems play a significant role in the development of the region. For the international scene, 10 months after the US-backed truce came into the effect, at least 1,260 Palestinians have been killed in the Gaza Strip, according to available data, as diplomatic effort to consolidate the agreement and pave the way for its next phase continue. Hamas claims to have accepted the move to the next phase of the plan while demanding its effective implementation and respect for the commitments made by Israel under the agreement. The ongoing discussions are intended to determine the modalities of the next phase of the plan, as well as the mechanisms to ensure compliance with the commitment made by the various parties. The humanitarian situation and the reconstructions of Gaza thus remain at the heart of international concern as negotiations continue to transform the truce into the more lasting settlement of the conflict. Oil tankers and container ships laden with cargo were observed at a standstill on Mondays in the Strait of Hormuz, as tensions persist over maritime traffic in this strategic waterway for the global transport of hydrocarbons and goods. U.S. President Donald Trump again threatening Oman, while Iran indicated it was working with the Sultanate on developing a plan to organize and manage maritime traffic through the strait. The complete reopening of this waterway is one of the main demands made by Washington amid heightening tensions concerning security and freedoms of navigation in the strait. The upcoming discussions between Iran and Oman could therefore be decisive for the future of maritime traffic in this strategic passage, as the U.S. maintains its demand for the complete reopening of the strait. The lava flows are cascading down the slope of Mount Etna in Sicily as the volcano continues its eruptive activities, attracting numerous tourists who have come to witness the phenomenon despite concerns raised by local guides regarding visitor safety. Plumes of ash and volcanic gas are rising above the volcano, forcing Italian authorities to suspend flights and temporarily close Catania airport due to the risks posed by volcanic ash to air navigation. The renewed activities of Etna has drawn groups of visitors to the surrounding areas, some seeking to observe the lava flows from vantage points near the volcano. At the Tanegashima Space Center in the southern Japan, scientists are finalizing preparations for an ambitious mission to the moons of Mars. The mission aims to bring back samples that could shed new light on the origins of the solar system and the emergence of life on Earth. The scientists hope that studying this sample will lead to us better understandings of the formations and evolutions of the phobos, as well as providing information on the early stages of the solar system's formations. The indomitable Lioness have returned to Yaoundé the day after their historic victory against Malawi, becoming African champions with the first time they received a triumphant welcome. A sea of people accompanying them through the streets of the capitals, carried by pride and emotion. The team paraded through Yaoundé to the shore of men, women, and children lining the streets. FIFA President Gianni Infantino, who has been the subject of intense criticism, attended the match alongside the CAF President Patrice Motsepe. Infantino then assisted Motsepe in presenting the medals to the three best teams. Algeria defeated Morocco on Saturday in the third-place match. Infantino also posed alongside Motsepe and Samuel Eto'o, president of the Cameroonian Football Federation, for a photo with the Cameroonian strikers Monique Ngok after she received the trophy for best players of the tournament. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.